our first regular season look at Tyler Linderbaum was pretty interesting, if you ask me. A lot of reps. Obviously, the Ravens, run game was not very successful. I'm going to have, I think, 8 examples of run plays, all from the end zone angle here. I will show one screen, which I think the Ravens ran quite well. Linderbaum is actually almost too quick getting out there on the screen, which is interesting, and I'll explain to you guys a little coaching point we used to use that kind of works, kind of doesn't. And then I'll have some pass drops, to be honest with you, that I'm just going to react to. I mean, I downloaded the plays, looked at them once, stacked them in order for you guys. All going to be end zone film. The title is kind of like a little play on words because Tyler Linderbaum has great feet. You know, uh, I'm a little old, so I remember '90s R&B songs. And also, Tyler Linderbaum has some improvements to make. There's some things that he has to improve on at times. If you ask me, his technique has to be super tight when he's going up against guys like Quinnen Williams. But as you'll see in this film, he won plenty of reps against Quinnen Williams. So if all you want to focus on is the 1 or actually 2 reps, maybe 2.5, where Quinnen Williams kind of throws him to the side, focus on that if you wish. But there's more to the game than just that. You're not focusing on Lamar's interception down the left sideline. You're focusing on his 3 touchdowns. You're not focusing on Rashad Bateman only having 2 catches. You're focusing on one of them being a 55-yard bomb. Same thing applies to Tyler Linderbaum, and I'm not sure why the standards will be different, to be honest with you. Guys, honestly, he might be our best offensive lineman already in terms of the most talent and the guy who can do the most in the run game, the screen game, and in pass pro. And if he's not right now, he will be soon, in my opinion. Now, that changes when Ronnie Stanley gets on the field. 100% version of Ronnie Stanley is clearly our most talented lineman because of the type of athlete he's got to deal with at left tackle. We clearly have an issue at left tackle now. Jawan James actually played quite well. You'll see from some of the film here, Patrick McCarry is a competitor. He's going to give us what he can give us, but he clearly, doesn't have the ability or the skill set of a Ronnie Stanley. All right, this first one is a gap scheme gone wrong. There's Linderbaum. He's going to back block on, I think, Quinnen Williams, and Powers is going to pull. This is essentially one back power out of B-gun. We do block this better later on. First of all, watch Linderbaum step with Williams. The one thing he does is he stays on people. When people try to cross his face to the play side, he will stay on people. Occasionally in this game, I think I saw 2 instances where he kind of like grabbed a hold of people and maybe at some point could be called for a hold. Not necessarily here, but Quinnen Williams is a monster. I thought Linderbaum generally did a good job. You got 2 different ways to back block on this pull by Powers, whether you've got a penetrating D-tackle or a guy who's going to read your block and then slide to the play side, and that's what it appears like Quinnen Williams is doing here. He's able to get his hands on Linderbaum, kind of get extended. The front side inside linebacker blows up the play. We'll have another version of this play to show you later. I'm going to kind of breeze through these, to be honest with you. This is so you can just make a judgment on your own. Linderbaum obviously is at center on each one of these. Toss, I don't like the call. I do not like the call on 3rd and 2 because we've been very predictable running toss out of 22 personnel, and that's what we're in here. But watch what Linderbaum and Powers do with this nose tackle to the backside inside linebacker. Watch Linderbaum work. If you want to talk about Quinnen Williams getting on him 1 or 2 plays, you better talk about the 2 or 3 times when Tyler Linderbaum did that to some pretty high-level defensive players for the Jets. I'm going to let it run slow so you can get a sense of how quickly Linderbaum passes off Powers or passes off the nose tackle to Powers, takes over the nose. Linderbaum works up to the linebacker, stays on him. That's one thing I would say about him is he stays on people. If Tyler Linderbaum gets out to you, you've got to keep playing football till the whistle because he will take you to the ground even if the play is away from you. 3rd play, very poorly blocked from many aspects. It's a pistol read, and we have 3 unblocked players at the point of attack. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of us double teaming the backside D tackle, but there's different ways to do it. I think there's got to be a mistake here on this front side because we end up double teaming this nose tackle or this 3 technique. In my opinion, if we're going to run it, we got a combo and then we got to work up to somebody. We end up with 3 unblocked guys at the point of attack. Unblocked backside inside linebacker, unblocked frontside inside linebacker, and unblocked DN. You normally want to leave 2 unblocked because you're reading them, and then you've got the pitch man in most offenses. We don't really have a pitch man because Lamar's not pitching unless it's speed option. I'll circle the 3 unblocked players for you. DN, which is the read man, which at this point, this should be a give if you ask me. You got a scraping inside linebacker, so they're doing a gap exchange where the DN kind of steps down, and the linebacker gap exchanges. So if Lamar did keep it, Ricard's going to have to loop around and block the frontside inside linebacker. Let's talk about Linderbaum because that's the point of the video. He's comboing the backside D tackle. I'd like to see somebody working up to the backside inside linebacker, to be honest with you. Because the way this works option wise for us, let's say Lamar keeps it, which I think he should. Lamar keeps it, jets around the left side. Ricard's job is to block the frontside inside linebacker. That's his job. Andrews is out here stalking somebody to the left. And I think that, Lamar can win that matchup. If we can win those two blocks, or at least not lose them significantly, Lamar can make yards somewhere. But if the backside inside linebacker's blocked and he's going to pursue, at this inside out angle, that really makes it, now a balanced situation, if you ask me. I don't really think Linderbaum did anything wrong there. I don't think we're blocking well across the board, to be honest with you. Pistol F counter. He stays on the backside nose tackle, the backside D tackle, I should say. He's going to block back on this 3 while Zeitler pulls. Our gap schemes are not tremendously effective at this point in time, to be honest with you. What we'll say about Tyler Linderbaum, though, is, again, I think the guy's starting to cross his face. He stays on people. He will stay on people and ride them out. And you can see the play is pretty much over. He's still fronting that guy up. Do I think he could be better on that? Absolutely. Jokers, we're not blocking anyone, period, on this play. Like, other than Tyler Linderbaum, other than him. And I'm not sure that he's blocking the guy that he should be. He's going to block this safety who's rolled up in the box on the back side of this. It's an interesting play. I get it. I understand what we're trying to do. We're focusing on Linderbaum. And he is physical. And he is definitely physical when he gets a linebacker or a safety, and he can stay on that guy and finish him off, which he does here. He finished that play on top of him. Not a huge fan of the way we're blocking that play. Actually, my notes for the game after that play said we're not blocking anybody. Okay, under center, pull. He's very quick on the pull. I think he trips over Ricard's feet here. This play went for like maybe 8 yards, maybe even more than that. It's a somewhat unusual play in that we have, we're down blocking, we're pulling, I think, Zeitler. We're pulling, I think, Linderbaum, and then the fullback is leading as well. So there's like a cavalcade of lead blockers out there. I'm going to slow it down so you guys can see this. Powers is doing a nice job cutting off on the backside, but the problem is he runs right past the guy. And the guy he runs past is right here, 97, the backside 2-eye or shade, whatever you want to call him. It's not actually a shade. He runs by him, and then 97 actually trips over someone's feet as well. Really a CF of a play, if you ask me, all the way around. Linderbaum trips over Ricard's feet. 97 and a linebacker for the Jets trip over each other. We end up getting 8 or 9 yards off tackle. I mean, off tackle run is where it's at in football. I mean, if you can run off tackle, you can get some things done. Unfortunately for us, we were somewhat inconsistent at it. These atypical run concepts seemed to work a little bit better for us as the game went on. All right, B-gun, one back power again. Linderbaum's going to block back on the shade. And Powers is going to pull this time, and he's going to work up to the front side inside linebacker. These two guys here, Ricard and Oliver, do a much better job. Now that D end is widened up a little bit now. He's in the gap between Ricard and Oliver, but they do a nice job pushing him down, and Powers is able to get out there on the front side inside linebacker. Linderbaum stays on the D tackle, who looks like he's trying to penetrate here. McCarry helps out by hinging on the backside, and Linderbaum's back block, on the backside of the gap scheme, they're able to handle these two guys, even though 72, the backside DN, starts to slide over the top a little bit in the cutback lane. You can see him right here. If Drake was going to cut it back, he couldn't. This is the backside DN that McCarry was supposed to hinge. But because McCarry, the D tackle, and Linderbaum all ended up in the scrum right here, while McCarry's trying to hinge, nobody's on the backside D end. He gets in that cutback lane. Still ends up being a big gain. We blocked it much better on the front side that time. I think that ended up being like an 11-yard gain. Could be wrong. Under center, wham concept. Love this play. Linderbaum gets out on the linebacker. And I would actually encourage him. This is Davis's fumble, by the way. I would actually, first of all, it's a beautiful concept. Linderbaum going up on the front side inside linebacker. Ricard going to the backside inside linebacker. Oliver, shuffle motion. And wham, trapping this D tackle. Beautiful stuff, if you ask me, all the way around. But I would say to Linderbaum, like, hey, man, that's not you. Stay on him. You stay on people. Meaning, like, he's on him. He's staying on him. The run has gotten through. Like, I want to see you stay on him. Punish that guy some more. That's just me being a over-the-top Ravens fan. Obviously, it ends up being a fumble that we recover, fortunately, because we scored on the next play, the bomb to Bateman. All right, we're going to transition to pass plays, but before we do that, screen. This one shocked me. In our Discord, guys were like, we just ran a screen, and someone said, successfully. It was shocking. Linderbaum's almost too quick here. There's no such thing as being too quick, but what I mean is he's so much quicker than the other guys that we have getting out here that he's almost too far out in front. That's not really a thing, to be honest with you. He goes and gets the corner. He doesn't whiff on this guy, but he certainly doesn't get a big piece of him. But he at least pushes that guy to the inside, lets Drake get the edge, which is where you don't want screens to go. You want to funnel that thing back inside to your, to your help. Another job, nice job by Powers here. Powers understands that this backside guy is close enough that he could impact the play, stays on him a little bit, then releases him. Tries to stay on him again because he recognizes there's nobody for him to go get. I think we're better at running screens. You guys let me know what you think in the comments section. All right, from here on out is going to be Pass Pro. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have notes for this part, so I'm kind of going at this from second viewing, really third viewing. And I know there's at least one bad rep in here, but this ain't it. RPO, Linderbaum blocking back on Quinnen Williams. Now, Quinnen Williams is a smart football player, so he saw our left guard and our left tackle pull. So it's possible he's not trying to shed an attack here. That is possible. But in any case, this is still a good rep by Linderbaum, staying on him, not letting him get upfield at all. The backside D end obviously could create some level of pressure on Lamar because he was unblocked. Under center pass play. Play action again. Linderbaum doing a good job. Is he grabbing with that left hand on the inside hit? Yeah, he is. But sometimes you're taught to get one hand high and one hand low, and that's a way to kind of take this guy where you want him to go. So yeah, there's a possibility that he's holding underneath there. He's certainly grabbing the jersey. This is the pass interference to Demarcus Robinson. This possession is when I thought the Ravens coaching staff made the decision like, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go up top. We're going to try to get points or get a DPI, which we did here. I did not think Ricard blocked consistently well during the game, but in some of these pass pro situations, he looked a lot better. Another gap protection scheme. Linderbaum is fantastic here. This is the pass defended by Ahmad Gardner on the over concept by Andrews. Watch Linderbaum block back on this D tackle. Powers is going to pull. This is a common protection scheme that the Ravens use. I slowed this video down so you can see it and you can see him compete. Certainly not too small, certainly not weak enough, certainly doesn't have too short arms. Like, get out of here with that shit. Now, if he has bad technique and he's too high with his short arms, then yes, that's an issue. But in this case, he does not have bad technique. He's doing a great job. That guy, the D tackle number 97 is getting some late pressure, but the ball's already out. So for our intents and purposes, that's a positive. I think you're going to have an exchange here, and I think this is the one where Linderbaum gets driven back into the quarterback. I could be wrong. Yeah, so he's too high. This is the touchdown to Duvernay, so it didn't matter in terms of, us winning the game or losing the game. But watch his pad level. He's too high. So I can't draw a line like up off the screen, but what I'm saying is check that out compared to the last play. And what's happening is they're kind of exchanging this. They being the Jets, they've got 3 overloaded to our left. So Linderbaum is letting 98 go to Powers. And then 95, Williams, is getting up under him. And you see Linderbaum, if you ask me, is too high. Compare that to his leverage on the last play, and Williams is just taking him back into Lamar's lap. Thankfully, we got rid of the ball quick, because I suspect that Lamar knew where he was going with that football based on the matchup. He knew Gardner was on Andrews. On the other side, I think we had one receiver, and he saw that Hall was guarding Duvernay, and I'm quite sure the Ravens coaches and players saw what I did, which was that Hall is the guy to go after if we get a chance. Even the times where he looks like he's beat, which he definitely looks like he is here, he just stays on people and he'll keep riding them. There are some people who get beat and they're not able to do this. Could he get called for a hold eventually? Yeah, he could. He certainly looks like he's hugging the guy here, but he also takes his weight like this way. This is a drill that offensive linemen do. He takes his weight this way to try to encourage the ref to not call that hold and just make the ref think, hey, I'm just pushing this guy this way, and I happen to have my arm around him. In my opinion, that play could have very easily been called a hold. Were he in more open space, let me put it that way. He gets shed here by 95. This is the semi-roll. I think our coaches did a great job with this call to Bateman, getting the pocket moved a little bit. Beautiful throw by Lamar. Like, even if he's covered well, that ball is thrown on point. Speaking of, on Linderbaum, yeah, he's going to get shed here. The D lineman is peeking, so he's looking to see, where the ball is. You can see his eyes looking over Linderbaum, and then he's going to go ahead and he's just going to shed him. That doesn't surprise me. It's Quinnen Williams. He's bigger, stronger, more explosive, and has longer arms than Linderbaum. Doesn't surprise me. But show me how many times that happened in a game. 2, maybe 3. That'll happen 2 or 3 times a game to pretty much every center in the NFL against Quinnen Williams, if you ask me. All right, back to the run plays. I didn't mean to run that play again. My apologies. I think Linderbaum had a lot of good, a little bit of bad. You saw one on that last rep there, but it didn't impact the play. Are there times where him being shed by a D tackle, locking out, peeking, and then throwing him to one side? Yeah, absolutely, that could be an issue. Do I suspect it will be? No, I don't. Linderbaum plays with really great leverage, number one. When his pad level is low, I think he's really solid. Our run blocking overall, I thought was pretty poor. I would not include Tyler Linderbaum in that statement generally. I suspect there might be one play where either him or Powers blocked the wrong guy. I could be wrong in that assessment. I don't know the Ravens, rules. I know how the inside veer is blocked to an open side with a 3 and a 5 to that side. I suspect that Linderbaum was supposed to get the backside inside linebacker after chipping, but he did not. Generally, I thought he played quite well. You can let me know what your assessment is. I'm super excited to have him. Again, like I said earlier in the video, I think he's our most talented offensive lineman. Right now, Morgan Moses looks really solid overall at everything. But I think Linderbaum has a whole hell of a lot of talent. The ability to pull, the ability to pass pro against nasty D tackles and win most of the battles, particularly when he has a little bit of help. The ability to get out on screens, and his nastiness. You saw 2 examples of that with the safety number 3 on the left-hand side of the screen, where he just took that guy off screen and punished him to the ground. And then he did the same thing on the toss play to our right on the screen and the Ravens right on offense, where he got out on the front side inside linebacker. Remember I explained that him and Powers traded off the nose. Powers took over the nose tackle, and Linderbaum worked up to the front side inside linebacker, took him to the ground. Do you count those as pancakes? I don't know the Ravens, scoring system. Some people don't count it as a pancake depending on, the location of the ball. But Linderbaum, I thought, played quite well, showed a lot of his ability, and I'm excited that we got him for real. I hope you are, because if we didn't have Tyler Linderbaum on this team right now, some of the things that we're doing, I'm not sure we are able to do. The screens, the toss play where we pulled, actually it's just a reverse pivot by Lamar under center and hand off to Drake off tackle where Linderbaum and Zeitler pulled. I'm not sure that our other centers will be able to do that, Cologne or Macari. We're going to need Macari at left tackle now, so it's not like Macari can play 2 places at once. So let me know what you think of the film study, what you think of my thoughts about Tyler Linderbaum's play. I'm excited. I'm not surprised that Quinnen Williams had his moments because he's just that good. He's just that good. And I expect the really high-level D tackles to give us problems at times, whether they're going up against Zeitler, Linderbaum, Powers, or Cleveland. If you look back at our games last year, there was plenty of times where Cleveland had issues with people. Zeitler, not so much. He was incredibly solid. I'd say he's our most consistent guy. But in terms of pure talent and the myriad of things that he's able to do on an NFL field right now and the blocks he's able to execute, I think Tyler Linderbaum is our biggest asset on the offensive line already. And if he's not now, or if you disagree with me, I mean, that's cool. If he's not now, he certainly will be at some point this year. That trajectory, I think, is quite obvious. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed to this channel and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing now. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the Miami game, to be honest with you, and I'm lagging behind that. If you really enjoy this video and you think other Ravens fans would like it, please consider sharing on social media to help increase its reach and exposure.